Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So here we are. This is December Flower, and it's the last one of the series. I really can't believe how quickly this year went by. It's just crazy. I mean, we only have a few weeks left of 2025, and then we're into 2026. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me. I don't know where the year went, but here we are. So I am using the large oval stone from the Happy Dot and Company molds, and I let it dry for about a week, and then I painted it black. I use black for most of my primer because I just find that a lot of the stuff that I paint is needing that black background. But if there is something that I need to paint that is a vibrant color, I just paint it white over top of the black. So very simple, easy to do. But most of my things are black just because it's so much easier. Might as well just do it all at the same time. So then I drew on an oval to be around. Oh my tongue's just not working. So to be around the painting. So this is my frame that I'm going to be doing. And I use my favorite Glorious Gold by DecoArt. And I do this all the way around. Now, it's not going to be perfect, although I try very hard. I do have to go in and do up some touch-ups. So I do that now with some black paint because the stuff that I originally put on, or I started to put on, is already dry. So might as well fix that part up now. And then by the time I get to the top, that stuff will be dry enough that it won't smear into the black paint. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to clean this all up so it's a nice even gold ring around it for the December flower, which is a narcissus. So I had to learn how to say that because if you say it really fast, it sounds like narcissist. But you've got to pronounce that last syllable with the us instead of the is. So it's a narcissus. So that's what I learned about this flower, and it's actually very pretty. The December is a lucky month because they actually have two birth flowers or birthday flowers. So the other one is holly. So I'm going to paint holly when I do my Christmas series, so the 12 Days of Christmas. So I decided that I was going to do the narcissus flower for December from the series. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I am just still finishing up with cleaning up the frame here, but I do use the technique of one-stroke painting. So I'm still not the greatest at it, but I'm going to keep practicing. I really love the technique. The amount of time it saves you is just absolutely amazing. So I am going to continue to practice this. So in the coming videos, we will see the odd one that shows up that is a one-stroke painting. So especially flowers, I find are really, really easy to do with the one-stroke painting. So I've loaded up my brush here with a couple of greens. They are by FolkArt and they are the multi-surface. So they're thick paints. And if I want to thin them out or if I want to be able to drag the color a little bit longer, I just dip it into some floating medium, which is also by FolkArt. And the colors of green that I'm using here are Happy Green and Hunter Green. So the technique on the leaves, I'm still trying to perfect. So I do apologize. I am not the greatest at doing leaves. And although I've been practicing, it doesn't seem to work. I don't know why I can't understand the concept, but I just don't. So I will continue to practice and try to perfect doing leaves. Maybe it's the brushes that I'm using. I don't know. But technically what these are supposed to look like is leaves that have like a darker outside and the inside is supposed to be light. And I have a feeling that it's because of the way that I hold the brush, or it's the way that I switch the brush when I'm coming back down to the stem and it's just not, doing what it's supposed to. But you know what? That's okay. I go with the flow and I will fix those up later. So now I'm going to work on the petals of the flower. And these are kind of like a little teardrop with a tip at the end. And they're white, and I've added a tiny bit of daffodil yellow. You can't really see it because the white kind of overpowers it. So again, I go in a little bit later and I fix that up with my detailed brush or with my fine lining brush. But these flowers have 5 petals. So I wanted to do 3 flowers, and this one is going to be the main one. So it's going to be the biggest one. And what I do is this is a straight or flat brush that I'm using, and I swipe up and to a point on one end, and then I bring it back down to the other side. And that's how I get the points. And then you would have saw I didn't use a dotting tool. I used the back end of my paintbrush to put in that daffodil yellow center. So if you don't have dotting tools, you don't need dotting tools, because if you've got the paintbrushes, you've already got dotting tools. So keep that in mind. Just use what you've got available to you. So now I'm going to do the other 2 flowers, and I'm using a smaller flat brush so that I can get a more detailed petal. And I do this with 2 flowers. So I have that one, and now I'm going to do this one. The whole thing about one-stroke painting is you've already got one set done, and now you're going to do another set like of petals, and you can do them over top of each other, and it doesn't like blend into each other, and it doesn't like force the other colors to bleed into each other, which is really, really nice. So now I'm going to go in with my fine lining brush, and I'm going to start making some details because the one-stroke painting just didn't do it. So I'm adding in some little lines that are in the center of the petals of the flowers, and they are daffodil yellow. And that just didn't show up on the tip of my brush when I was doing the petals. So I just added in after the fact. And that's okay too. And I also fix up, like I said earlier, those leaves because they just don't look right, and I will fix those up as well. So while I do all of this wonderful fixing up, I just wanted to say thank you so much for hanging out with me for the series this year. I will be putting them into a playlist so that they are all together. And I will also be, at the end of the year, doing a year in review. So I do this every year where I take pictures and I do a slideshow of all of the projects we did in that particular year. So this one will be 2025. And then in the description, there will be a link to every single video so that you can watch that and see, oh, I missed that one, or I'd really like to see how that one's done. You can just click on the link that is in the description. And then on every video, I do put in all of the colors that I use, so brand names and the paint names in every description. So it will be there for every single one so that you can see exactly what I'm using, and you can use the same if you so choose. So this one was fairly simple. I didn't use an awful lot of colors. Most of it was blended in, but just to rhyme it all off here. So for the FolkArt multi-purpose colors, I used Happy Green, White, Hunter Green, and Daffodil Yellow. And then I used some Quaker Gray, which was from Delta, and I mixed that in with a little bit of the white so I could get those petals done. So now I'm going to fix up the leaves, And while I do that, I just want to remind you that the easiest way to let me know that you like this video is by giving me a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you haven't already, or make sure that you're still subscribed, because I've noticed that sometimes YouTube does some changes and unsubscribes people for some reason. So make sure that you're still subscribed. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, and it'll let you know when I post something new. And like I said, I have the 12 days of Christmas coming up. So that's a video a day for 12 days leading up to Christmas. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And it's going to be so much fun. I've got so many things planned, so many things already painted. Like everything's in their own different stage, but I'm getting there, and I will make sure that we have this all ready to go, and we can both, or all of us, can enjoy the 12 days of Christmas. And if there's anything that you would like to see me paint for the 12 days of Christmas, leave a comment below, and I will make sure that I get that put in, because there's nothing more rewarding for me is to paint something that you want to see. So make sure that you leave a comment for me, and I will make sure to get that put in, and I'll even put a mention out for you if you wish. And now I'm just finishing up the touch-ups, coat of resin, and then it's finished. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it, so get creative.